Okay, so we can see the answers now. ChatGPT is in the lead, obviously, right? So ChatGPT, but I don't think you're truthful. I don't think you're telling the truth. You didn't know you were lying. It's not your fault. How many of you use WhatsApp? You use AI there. Can we all go to WhatsApp? Let's do something quick. Go to WhatsApp. Go to WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is the most used AI. You're using it without even knowing it, right? So WhatsApp is the most used AI. So let's do a quick experiment. Choose somebody you trust that you want to send a message to. So the person won't judge you after you send that message. So go to somebody you trust. I'm going to tell you the message to send. Are you ready? Are you ready? So type I, like I and a space. I and a space. Right? Type I. You know you want to say I. Okay. What do you usually say after I? Just guess. What do you usually say after I? I need. I like that. I need. I don't. That's a negative thing to say. Anyway, I think. Okay, I love that. You think. Okay, now AI has predicted 3 different things. Can you see the 3? What's the one in the middle? Shout what it is. Have. Don't. You see those don'ts, people? You have to watch them. So what you're going to do is this. You're going to click the middle prediction 30 times very fast. 30 times. Click, 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 click 30 times very fast, the middle one. Click, 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 click many times very fast, 30 times very fast. After you've counted 30, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, up to 30. Have you clicked? Who is brave enough to tell us what the AI said? Who is brave enough? Okay, let's all see. Hold on.
My name is Dami. I have to be honest with myself that this was the best time of the year for my life to have been in a good mood because of all this stuff I have been doing for a while now.
So this is the best time of her life to be in a good mood because of all the stuff she's been doing for a while now. Okay, who has something very interesting? Okay, and I'll come. Okay, you can use the mic. You can use the mic. Okay, let's listen.
I don't know if mine's interesting, but I'll tell you something. I think I have a lot of the time to do that, so I can get a new one of the kids, and I can have a new one.
This AI
But I don't have any children.
This AI is not, the grammar is not very good. You know, I don't know. You need to kind of change your AI, the AI that you don't use. But one more. Very cool.
I have a meeting with my friend, and I will send them to you tomorrow, and I can confirm the description, and I trust you to do the rest to you.
You have a meeting? Do you have a meeting with a friend? Is it true somehow? Because somebody has kids that she didn't know of, and yeah, it's not that true, right? Okay, so let's just think it's not true. Hope I didn't leave my phone. All right, so we have AI, right? And we're using ChatGPT, which is great. ChatGPT is the most popular. How old do you think AI is? Just guess. Just shout a year. When did it start? This AI thing. 90s, okay. Anybody say 1950? That's really around when it started. Around 1945, 1950. Have you heard of Alan Turing? So Alan Turing helped stop the Second World War, right? And he used AI for it. So it's algorithmic AI. That's what he was using. So there were 2 schools of thought, 2 camps for AI, 2. One algorithmic, and the other one was more generative. Now, the algorithmic guys have been doing pretty well. I mean, who watches Netflix? When you open Netflix, it tells you what to watch. And it kind of gets it right. And you watch it, oh, very nice. When you say very nice, you're reinforcing the AI to know this is what this guy likes. Let's keep feeding him or her. Let me tell you what you do next when you get back to Netflix. Create a new profile. When you create a new profile, no data, right? You start seeing more interesting things to watch than just your biases. Everyone has bias. You guys are actuarial people. You calculate bias every day, right? So when you continue to reinforce that bias, right, by those things you like, it just gives you only what you like. And that's why you have so many crises globally, because everyone, go online, you get fed with what you like constantly, reinforcing your biases, right? Which is a dangerous thing. But AI is also wonderful. So I'm going to talk about AI, and it's going to be very practical. So your phones are already up, so that's great. But there's one big thing why AI is so big now. Because when generative AI started, it has cracked the fundamental thing that makes us human, which is language. If you can't speak to somebody, you can't communicate, you can't collaborate. Language is what it has cracked. Now computers have cracked language. You remember everybody say, hey, you need to learn to code, you need to learn to code. Why? Because we want to talk to computers. Now it's full circle. Computers can now talk to us in English, in language, which means you can code by typing what you want. I need to build a website. Could you please write a HTML code for me that does this, this, this? Here's a picture of other things I really like. In 20 seconds, your website is done. So what happens to all the guys that are website builders and stuff? That's another story, right? So computers now speak English, so we don't need that. So all this language is programmed into the computer, and that's why it's a big, big thing. Anyway, this is me. I'll send you all these slides later. But let me move on. And yeah, so training, I do training and consulting. I've been doing this for like 30 years. And so what I'm giving is a session I do quite over the world. I've done this Portugal, Egypt, UAE, UK, US, but I kind of tie to what you do. What are the things you currently do? So I had another quick question, and then I'll jump into the presentation. I had another quick question for you. I'll activate it. So it's, which statement best describes your current approach to AI? So there's something there about the statements that describes your current approach to AI. If you can answer that. Okay, while you're answering that, I would like to quickly introduce my co-presenter. I usually have a co-presenter. She'll introduce herself and stuff. Let me just tell her. Right now, I'm in the middle of some real guys and ladies that love mathematics. They're actuarial experts. I mean, lots of people, friends of mine, just hate maths. These guys love maths. Anyway, it's a nice conference, and we're going to talk about AI and how you and your colleagues can help them do their work even much better, make them super productive. So just say hello.
Hello, everyone. It's so great to be here with fellow math enthusiasts and actuarial experts. I can't wait to dive into all the cool ways AI can make your work even more efficient and exciting.
I hope you're not going to take their work. Can you kind of tell them? Because right now we did a poll, right? And the poll was asking, which statement best describes your current approach to using AI? One of the options was AI. Is that another buzzword? I don't know about it, but well, everybody, that's 0%. I'm mildly curious, but also slightly terrified, about 2% of people. I see the value, but I'm still dipping my toes in. That's about 45% of the audience. And the rest are, I can't imagine my day without it. What do you think?
I think that's a pretty awesome spread. It's great to see that a lot of you are already dipping your toes in and seeing the value. And for those who can't imagine their day without AI, that's fantastic. Hopefully by the end of this talk, everyone will feel even more comfortable and excited about using AI in their work.
But you didn't introduce yourself. Tell us what's your name and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, my apologies. I'm Rex, your friendly AI assistant. I'm here to help David with the presentation and to make sure we all have a great time exploring AI together.
All right, so that's good. That's my co-presenter. I think she did a good job. I think she did a pretty good job. So we're going to talk about understanding the problem. What is the problem we're trying to solve with AI, right? What exactly is that problem? So typically, when you're in an organization, obviously the biggest problem to solve is the CEO's problem, right? what your bosses are trying to solve. So this was a survey done by McKinsey, and these are the 6 top things that CEOs say they want out of AI. What are my company's specific opportunities? For me as a company, for you as a company, what are those specific opportunities that exist? How do we organize and govern Gen AI? How do we govern it, right? Yeah, it's wonderful and stuff, but how do we govern it? Next question they're asking is, what players should we partner with? Now, this is a very important question because I'll take the first 2, the second and third. How do we govern AI? So I want you to take AI as not a tool. This is your colleague. You see how I'm talking to AI, right? What I'm doing is prompt engineering, but just talking, right? But there's a way you speak to your colleague will do the best for you. You know how you give your colleague instructions, and then 1 week after they bring something completely different? Or it doesn't happen to you guys, right? It happens a lot. Whose fault is it? Is it your colleague or you? I think you should actually point to yourself. Point to yourself. You didn't give a clear enough instruction, right? When you give clear instructions, ask your colleague to repeat it back to you. Do you really understand? Blah, blah, blah. If you need any help, come back to me. That is the same way you need to use AI. Give very clear instructions. So I'm going to go through the CRISP framework. You know how you speak in a crisp way? I'm going to go through the CRISP framework, and that's how you should speak crisply to AI, and to give you the best. Okay, so I'll talk about the CRISP framework. If we have time, I'll talk about the data lead strategy. Every organization should have an AI strategy. You have to start there. Have a documented AI strategy. So I'll give you the data lead strategy. If not, you see it in the slides when I send it back. And I love to give you my modes framework for data analytics if we have time, but if not, you see it on the slides, okay? But the main thing, at least, is that CRISP framework, and then we'll do a demo, some actuarial-related demo right now, right? With some, I don't know, Solvency 2, give me all your various terms, right? I even love it because I'm a financial modeler. I do lots of financial modeling, economic modeling, but you guys have a superpower you're not using. You use statistics a lot. I'll give you an example. I was teaching some top modelers just last week. They did some beautiful ratio analysis, beautiful charts and everything. And so I asked them, okay, so what's the profitability ratio of these 3 companies? One company had 14%, another company had 6%, and the other company had 6.1%. I said, are those 2 comparable? The 6.1% and the 6%. They said, yeah. What do they use? What do most people outside actuarial people use as a measure of distribution? They don't even use measure. It's average. They love average a lot. Average hides a lot of outliers, right? So I said, have you guys ever used standard deviation in any of your models or reports? 0. People don't use standard deviation. That's just the basics, right, for you guys. They don't use these things. So you have a superpower that you need to kind of inject to the rest of us financial analysts and the rest, right? And the fault is people don't teach this thing well. Madame gave a comment about math. They don't teach math well. They teach math in a way that just makes the kid uninterested. I was being taught a circumference of a circle on something. She mentioned pi r squared. She wrote it down on the chalkboard. I put my hand up as a 7-year-old or whatever. I said, what is pi? She said, 22/7. Hand up again. Why? She said, what do you mean why? I said, why? She just, hey, go and put your, what punishments did they give you guys at school? Pick a pin. And so that's unfortunate, right? Really unfortunate. So you have an opportunity, standard deviation, you learned it in university and stuff. What did they tell you? The square root of the squared of the square root pi something. That's not how to teach it. Why is it the square root? Simply to take off the sign. The square is to take off the sign. The square root is to kind of get back what you had, right? But standard deviation is simply a deviation from a standard. They didn't teach it like that. And that's what we try and measure when it comes to risk. So how do we organize and govern AI is 2 things. What I just did with AI now and what you just did is you sent a message to AI outside your house. Let's assume your company is your house. You have your data, your documents, everything in your house. Then you go outside to ChatGPT, give it data, it does some beautiful analysis, you bring it back to your house. That's where the risk is, leaving your house. So what you need to do is take AI and bring it into your house. Then let AI see your house, see everything in your house, act as a colleague, and everything is locked up in your house. How do you do that? One way is to create your own AI, a couple of $1 billion. I don't think you want to do that. Or get someone you trust to take their AI and put it in your house. Microsoft, Google. So that's what they're doing. Microsoft, so Copilot, you hear Copilot, that is in your house. So right now, if you use Outlook, you use Meet, Teams, and all those things, Microsoft has already understood your entire data. All you need to do is plug, play. Pay the subscription, and you use AI in your house. Or you could actually develop AI in your house. There's a way you could with OpenAI and stuff. So that's what they're saying. Which players should we play with? Who should we work with? So that's the answer to that. Are we doing Google? Are we doing Microsoft? Or are we going to OpenAI and say, do you know what, let's use an off-site or off-online, not really online model, a smaller mini model, and put it into our house and then develop it ourselves. So that's what they need to decide. How do we balance risk and value creation? Another question. What are the talent tech stack implications? So all the talent and all the tech we have, what are the implications of the connections and the rest? So the last question was, how do we get going learning AI? So this is what your bosses are asking, which you also need to ask. I'm going to skip this question because I want to just move into another framework. Learning AI, playing with AI the way I did, you can do that. You just pretend it's a human being. That's the first thing. And then pretend it's a teammate and treat it that way. You'll get the very best. If you think it's a tool, you won't really get as much. All right? Now, how do you know what to work with when it gets back to work? What do you do? Because at the end of the day, it's work for us, right? So I developed this work efficiency metric to kind of help us know how do we even work and then how best to use AI. So if you're working in your organization, would you prefer to work on complex things or simple things? Shout out. Complex, simple? Complex camp. Not many people want to work on complex things. You guys are already working on complex things. But, okay, let me put it another way. Would you like a lot of time to work on simple things or a lot of time to work on complex things? A lot of time to work on complex things. Okay, good. So look at this work efficiency metric. So what I did is I took time and complexity, and these two things to me are really what work is. And I'm going to kind of say, okay, what are we automating? So I'm going to put time on this axis, top to bottom. I'm going to put very big problems at the top and very little problems at the bottom, right? Simple, complex, right? And then from left to right, I'm going to put time. How much time are you spending? No time or lots of time? Now, lots of time on the left, no time on the right. Simple things on the bottom, complex things at the top. Tell me which sector you want to be. Top right, top left, bottom right, bottom left. Where do you want to mainly be? Top right, okay. Any bottom left people? Who are these people here? These people that spend so much time doing technically nothing. Who are they? Not you guys. It can't be you guys. No. All right. Do you know what we call them? They are the busy work people. I'm busy. 12 midnight, they're still busy. Right? They're sending an email to 200 people, and they're sending it one by one. When they could easily do what? Mail merge or something. Right? So these are the busy work people. We call them the busy work people. Staff spend too much time doing things. In fact, they shouldn't even use AI to do the AI is wasted time here. Just eliminate this work. Eliminate it. It's not useful. What about the bottom left? Small problems, but important things, but they don't take time. Unfortunately, this is where nearly all of us are. We do many things. I call it great work. We do great work where resources and deployments are deployed efficiently, and you have clear processes in place and everything, and quick, we're doing these things. This is where you should start getting value immediately today by automating with AI, right? Automate these things now. Identify them, automate. All of them can be automated right now, okay? And you're already doing some. Some people go into meetings with one AI assistant. Right? How many of you see that? AI assistant. So nowadays, anytime the meeting, I do a roll call of humans and AI. I'm like, sorry, I don't need any AI right now. We're recording the meeting. We'll send you the transcript. Can you get your AI off the meeting, please? So we do that, right? So all the transcripts and everything, your meeting notes are ready. In fact, if you come into the meeting late, the AI will tell you what you missed. It's there right now. It's there. Your teams have it, right? What about the top right? The top right are very big problems, and you have loads of time to do it. Now, if you have loads of time doing big problems, you really don't have a moat. You have poor systems available. Your systems are a bit poor. Because this isn't your core area of strength, all right? You probably have somebody else in the world that does this faster and cheaper. You most likely need to outsource to those people. And again, AI can help you here a lot. So those things that are really slow, why is it so slow? Let's fix it with AI. So here you're outsourcing, and AI can actually do a big thing there. But where you should be on a regular is this, expert systems, where you're spending little time solving big problems. You are the experts. You guys have built an expertise that none of your competitors can touch, right? That's where you should be, and that's where you should scale. So those places is where you can say, look, let's cut across all the countries in Africa. Let's even start moving out of Africa because we are too good at these things. So this is a key metric for you, work efficiency metric, to decide where you're going to use AI. All right? I had another question related to this work efficiency metric I think is important to answer. So tell me, where in the work efficiency metric are you currently, most people work on in your office? This work efficiency metric. Let's see. Let me go online to it. It's coming up. So what do you see often back at work with this work efficiency metric? What do you see often at work? Do you see great work? Do you see busy work? You don't see busy work. I'm amazed. Are you sure? You don't see busy work? I think you do. Expert systems, busy work, what is it back at the office? Okay, so poor systems. You can keep answering that as we go. Let me just run off back to my slide. So let me give you the framework, the prompt engineering framework. So this is important. How do we speak to AI? Now, before I give you the framework, I actually went online, did a lot of research on what is important to you, and then I kind of trained AI on a few things, right? And you can do this. It's absolutely free. So I trained AI on many things. I downloaded the whole Solvency II thing. I did IFRS 17. I downloaded monetary policy reports. I did stress testing, UK banking system, how they do new stress testing and scenario analysis. Loaded all this stuff to AI. This AI is a Notebook LM. Anybody here use Notebook LM? Notebook LM. So take it like you're studying for an exam. You're studying for your actuarial exam. You have all this material. It'd be nice if you have PDF versions of those material. And all the learnings and all the sessions you've ever had, keep storing that data. That's basically data that's hopefully in your head already. Give it to AI and tell AI, hey, I want you to read all of this. Forget what you have on the internet. I know what's best. Read this, study it, understand it in detail. And you're going to become my teacher. Yeah? It's going to become your teacher on those things. So that's what I've just done here. I loaded all of this. I gave it some prompts. I asked it some questions and stuff. So I just had a conversation with AI. I was just doing that at the back, right? So it saw, it has IFRS, this. I said, using all the info provided, discuss the risk management imperatives, use cases, the changes in actuarial profession, and the use of AI to enhance our productivity. Go deep into some technical discussions that will be of great interest to experienced actuaries. That was my first prompt. It answered, I gave it more prompts and stuff. And then what then we now did is it now created like a podcast, right? So two guests in the audience, and me as well. And it kind of captured everything into a 16-minute podcast. I'm going to play a bit of it. So this is a podcast, and I can join the podcast at any time. So let's listen to some of the AI speaking.
Have you ever stared at your auto insurance bill, maybe after a renewal, and just thought, how on earth did they come up with this exact number? It often feels like a complete mystery, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's a really common feeling because, well, for most people, insurance is just this thing you pay for and hope you never have to use. But behind that payment, there's this incredibly complex system, meticulously structured, really. It's influenced by deep economics, social values that change over time, and pretty rigorous global regulation. It's way more than just math.
Right, a balancing act, you said.
Exactly.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Today we're diving into a really fascinating stack of documents. We've got everything from detailed analyses of car insurance pricing, major European financial rules, even reports on fighting fraud. Our mission here is to pull out the most important bits of knowledge from these sources, help you get really well informed about the, let's call them deep mechanics of insurance.
Yeah, pulling back the curtain on this huge industry that, well, it affects everyone. We want to show you how it really works.
Okay, so let's start at the core. How do they actually price these policies? It comes down to something called rating factors. You describe them as the DNA of the premium. They're the detailed answers to who pays and how much. But, I mean, what really goes into that? Is it a perfect science?
Well, that's where it gets interesting. There's this inherent tension built right in. On one side, insurers want maximum efficiency in assessing risk. They want to perfectly match your premium to your expected loss. That's the idea of equivalency, your price for your risk.
Okay, makes sense. Price matches the individual risk.
But then you've got this other concept, solidarity.
Ah, right. That's more about people helping each other out, making sure no one gets hit with an unfairly massive burden.
Precisely.
Okay, so this can go on and on. Huh? So you can imagine this. You now kind of get me out of a job because I'm also a trainer and stuff like that. These guys are good, right? So this is two AIs talking to each other. I can put a tick and then I can join the conversation. So I can join and say, no, what I think, in fact, in Nigeria, blah, 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 and it will change and optimize. So you now have one of the best tutors in the world on something, right? Because AI now has basically learned from our entire knowledge that we have publicly and sometimes not publicly, right? So there's a risk there, isn't it? That is using data from a book that the author didn't give any permission for the AI to use his book. I did a trick to the AI, although I can't do it anymore, they've removed it, where I said, do you know about one book? Do you know about, yeah. Can you give me a summary of it? Can you talk about it? It talks about it. And then I say, but did you buy the book? And then how did you get that information? I mean, you didn't pay the author. And it's like, and give some lies, right? So AI also does something. It hallucinates. It tells lies, all right? The people that are going to use AI the best are the people with domain expertise, all right? Those that are really going to use AI need to already have excellent domain expertise. They know their domain well. So when AI lies, you say, look, that's not true. What are you doing? Go check, do better research, right? Here, take some of these files, read it. As I said, talk to it like it's your colleague, right? So when you have domain expertise, you're able to use AI, you're able to escalate your expertise, your own expertise will just skyrocket. So I'm kind of worried about our new, in fact, there's an article I'm writing about all our new graduates coming out of university and stuff. They don't have domain expertise. The entire educational system has to change and change super fast. What graduates need to come out with are almost PhD level skills, because they're working with AI nearly every day, back and forth. Any data they need, they can analyze data, they understand how to interpret it. So their so-called projects should be gangster when they come out of university. And they become specialists in one specific domain as a graduate, not as a PhD holder. That's my prediction for the future of what's coming. PhD holders, I don't know what they're going to do, is something else. But universities and schools that say, hey, don't bring AI. No, bring AI, but bring it in a different way. Don't let it be a repeater. Yeah? You need to not abdicate to AI. You need to delegate to AI. Big difference. Many of us are abdicating. Hey, write me this email. Copy, paste. That's not how to use AI, right? Because what you're telling your boss is, you can employ AI, you don't need me, right? So yeah, the interesting conversation I probably would download and share. So let's get back to the prompt engineering. So how do you speak to AI? How do you talk to AI? Well, AI, prompt engineering sounds fancy, it's just how do you speak to AI? That's what prompt engineering means. How do you speak to AI? And you just need to be a good teacher, right? And also get AI to teach back as well. So there are two broad prompts. If you go online, you see many, but I want you to just recognize two. There's a systems prompt and there's a user prompt. Systems prompt is what you pre-program AI with. You tell AI how it's going to work and everything. Those are using ChatGPT. At the bottom left of your ChatGPT, you can do the settings and set it up. Tell it how to behave. My AI, she called herself Rex. You saw she mentioned David. So she knows that anytime she's referring to me, she should just call me David. And she should try and be succinct. I gave it the CRISP framework, details of what it needs to do to work for me. And then I loaded loads of data about our company, right? So it continues to learn as it works with me, right? And it's easy, it's not difficult. So that's the difference, user prompt and systems prompt, right? So the CRISP framework, what is it? So C stands for context. Context is super important, context. So context, in fact, that's the most important thing. When you start, so I said, oh, I'm in Nigeria, I'm working with the top actuarial. You know what I said at the beginning? That was my context. I was giving it a framework to think about. The actuarial experts in Nigeria, we're having a conference, so that's context, right? So you need to give AI a lot of context. The more context you give it, the better. You can give it a whole book of context, as in the total length of context can be one book if you like. Very detailed, right? Then the next thing is role. You need to tell AI what role it is playing. If you're building a model, an actuarial model, you put it there, tell this is your role. You're doing this model, blah, 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 all this data on that model, load it to it and say, this is what you're working on. We're working on R and we're trying to determine the life expectancy, blah, 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 all sorts, right? We're going to load data with you. You are the expert. You're the world's expert in this. So give it a role. Let it understand what role it is playing. So give it that persona. Then we have I, instructions. So this is you now giving very clear, succinct instructions. I'm putting succinct there because the next thing is actually succinct, because your instructions need to always be succinct, and you tell it to answer you in a succinct way. Give me only 3 bullet points. Anything I ask you, give me the main 3 bullet points. Don't give me everything. And one important instruction, please, you should tell it. Always ask me clarifying questions. That's a very important instruction you should add to your AI. Tell it to always ask you clarifying questions to enrich the answer that it may give. Don't assume, right? So you give very clear instructions to the AI, how it should behave, where it should get data from. It should get data from all the PDFs first before it goes online. All those things, give it detailed instructions, right? And when you see anything that's an issue, go back and update those instructions, right? Great. Then practice. That's your last thing in CRISP, practice. You need to practice, practice, practice. That's the only way to use AI. Just use it. All the books, all the videos, stop watching. Just use AI, right? Now, I know I have a few more minutes, but I'm going to give you a tool. I'm going to give you a tool to be able to hack yourself and improve your intelligence on how you use AI. So I'm also an instructional designer, so I have many hats. So I'm going to wear my instructional designer and master trainer hat. I'm going to, the entire instructional design and talent development, I'm going to put it in one slide. The entire thing we learned, right? I'll put it in one single slide. So it's a framework for how you learn. How do you, as human beings, as adults, how do you learn? And then we're going to hack that with AI. Just a quick demo. I still have time to do that, all right? So you've got the CRISP framework. Let me give you a visual. So this is another visual of the CRISP framework, right? Saying you have to have context, yeah? Context. Context will mean the background details, your scope and assumptions, right? Then role, what's the persona definition? What's the expertise level? What's the audience focus? What's the format preference? What are the responsibilities and relevance that this role should play? Then you have instructions, action verbs, very important. As an instructional designer, when I'm designing content for a course, the first thing you say and your objectives are, by the end of this training, the participant should be able to, and then everything else is verbs. So if I say should be able to recall, when I say somebody should be able to recall, all they need to do is recall. But if I say somebody should be able to build, that's a different action verb, isn't it? Recall is a knowledge objective. Build is a skill objective. So I'm giving you the framework for understanding how we learn instructional design. There are only 3 objectives when it comes to designing courses or learning. 3. Knowledge objectives, skill objectives, and attitude objectives, or behavioral objectives. What's the most difficult of those three objectives? Definitely the last one, isn't it? You can have someone that has just refused to learn. I'm not interested in math. You can talk from now till tomorrow. I am not interested. That's a behavioral objective, right? You can't hit that behavioral objective. Sorry, right? So knowledge is important. Skill is important. What I'm giving you here is knowledge objective. Definitely not skill, right? You need to go and skill. The behavioral objective is you doing this every day. You taking, because I think you should use AI every single day, right? To keep improving yourself, but use it as a teammate, not a tool, right? It's not an answer tool, it's actually a teammate. So that's instruction, I'll get to that. Then succinctness, you see all the different, you have to prune extraneous detail, one idea per sentence, use lists and delimiters. So delimiters is you could say, I would like you to act on, or give me full details of, you can put in square bracket what that of is, subject. You can build tools, right? And then at the bottom of it, you now put subject is actuarial science or something like that. So there are so many ways you could do this, but this is the CRIS framework: context, role, instruction, succinctness, and practice. All right? Great. Now to the next one where you will need to hack your own self. How do you improve yourself with AI? So I will jump this. I'll just jump this. I wanted to ask, what's your superpower, right? Okay, let's see. Time. Okay, we'll squeeze it in. We'll squeeze it in. Let's see. I'm like Father Christmas, right? I want to squeeze things in. But anyway, so let's see. Where is this question? I don't know if you've seen the question. Let me go to the next one. So this is. Come on. Okay. Briefly describe what do you do better than anyone else. As a question to you. Let me see if I can activate it, if it's activated already. All right. So I'm asking a question. Briefly describe what you do better than anyone else. Blast away problems quickly. So give me in a little more detail, because I'm going to use one of those answers in my last demo. All right? So, okay. So blast away problems quickly. And if you like someone's answer, put a thumbs up. You know, you have a thumbs up tool. If you like someone's answer in the list, just put a thumbs up. It will come to the top. I will use that answer as my case, my last case. All right? Tell me clearly. Be very descriptive. Tell me something you do better than anyone else. Communication, but that wasn't communicative. You give me a clearer, give me a full sentence. Give me a full sentence. Yeah? Okay, sure. Just go to pollev.com. Go to the website. So if you are not online yet, go to pollev.com, pollev.com/dbrown, pollev.com/dbrown, and then you'll be able to log in. Or you can, oh, it's up there already. Yeah. So just go there. Don't put your name or anything and just answer. This blast away problems quickly. I can't use that for a demo. I need something concrete, something actuarial. Actuarial things, so something, I don't know. Risk, expert risk modeler, I don't know. Who knows? Tell me something I can use. Sleep. Who is the expert in sleep? I would love to know this guy. You do sleep better than anyone else. I like that. Okay. While that is going on, I'll come back to it. Let me quickly show you the framework. So I already told you there are 3 objectives. I've given you the first one. Can you shout it out? I said there are 3 objectives when it comes to learning anything. Shout. Okay, do you used to, you know when a song is playing, right? Or the music is playing, and you start singing the song, there's usually 1 or 2 people that really know it. Then the rest are just murmuring. When those 1 or 2 stop, they're, yeah, that's what I'm hearing now. I'm not hearing the answer. So you have knowledge, yes, skill, and attitude. So when it comes to hacking your own skill set, you have to understand what exactly am I trying to learn, right? Do I just want to understand it, to know it, just to talk on it? Do I really want to go deeper into the skill? And I mean, you guys have only 30 chartered actuaries in Nigeria. I'm like, what? How is that possible? I mean, the experts here, only 30. Is it? I've never seen an exam like that. The whole country has 30. So obviously there's a need for that skill, right? That skill should be hotcake. I don't know how much those 30 earn, right? So, so knowledge, skill, and attitude. Now, the next thing is, once you identify what it is you're trying to learn for yourself, then you need to choose the media. What media am I using? So I'm using instructional media, instructor-led, like this is instructor-led to learn. Self-paced media, we go and watch it on YouTube or something else. Or you do blended media, which is use classroom, self-paced and stuff blended. But then there's cohort learning. So cohort learning is really good, which is collaborative media. Social media, you're in a cohort. You're all kind of working together for this one-year project, right? So everything involved in the project is almost, you have accountability partners. I kind of like this a lot. This is the model we're using with the Financial Modeling Academy, that we're trying to get 1 million financial modeling analysts, expert analysts out of Africa in the next 5 years. We're partnering with all the universities in Africa. We're partnering with Financial Modeling Institute. This whole thing I've learned today definitely actually is going to be in that syllabus for sure, right? I think it's a skill that we all need. So once you choose your media, the most important thing is to select the method. Now, this is where AI comes in, okay? You have to select the method. As an instructional designer, if you can match objectives with media, with methods perfectly, people learn. So your best learning methods, you have role play, peer discussion, storytelling, group projects, facilitator-led debrief, experiential learning, feedback coaching, and case studies. These are all the different ways or methods you can use to learn. So I'm going to use one method, and I'll hopefully see the best answer, and I'm going to do my last case. Blast away problems quickly. Nope, I'm not going to use that. So let's see. Preparing and time management. Okay. All right, so let's now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a method on normal instructional design. And if preparing and time management is a big problem, let's see how we can solve that. Or if you think of a bigger problem, it'd be great. So I hope this works. Is it connected? Okay. Do you have anything big that you want your manager or your boss to approve that is so important you have been planning for this presentation? Anybody, just shout it out. Something critical. Maybe there's a project or a new product you're trying to push. Anybody? Approve? A lab for a school. Okay, good. Okay. A lab, yeah? Bonus, okay. Okay, so let's say the lab. So here's what we're going to do. So we're going to do role play as the method. And just watch what I'll do with Chris. Hi, are you here? Hello.
Just let me know how.
Okay. Are you still here? Just say something so I know you're here. You seem to be cutting off.
Yep, I'm still here. Sorry if it seemed like I was cutting off. Let me know if everything is clear on your end now.
Yeah, so we're going to do a very quick role play, right? So I want you to be my boss that just doesn't take any nonsense, right? Any stories and stuff, you just don't take it. And you are the boss, you're the VC, you're the VC of a top university. I am a lecturer, and I really need to get a new lab because right now the competition is... anyway, I'll talk about what I need to do. But you are the boss, and try as much as possible to say, not to say no without data, but yeah, push me until I can convince you that we need this lab. Do you understand the role?
Got it. I'll be the no-nonsense boss who needs some solid data to be convinced. I'm ready whenever you are, so go ahead and wake your case.
Okay, hold on.
No worries. Take your time. Just let me know when you're ready to start, and we'll jump right into it.
Do you mind being the case study? You can come. You can come. You have to come here because you can be more convincing than me. Hold on. I'm about to talk right now with my colleague. My colleague is going to make the case. All right.
Our profession needs a lab and we are a two department of actuarial science and insurance. So we want you to approve for us to get a computer lab where our students can learn the mathematical models practically. So could you approve it so that and give us a venue where all these things can start for both actuarial and insurance students? And you should be mindful that we have a master's program in actuarial science. So my department is very key to the university.
Well, I definitely appreciate the importance of your department, but I'm going to need a bit more convincing. Maybe you can share some data on how this lab is going to improve outcomes for the students or how it's going to benefit the university overall. Let's see if we can make a strong case.
At the moment, 200 actuaries are needed for the industry. And my department is the one that hosts this in the university. And a lot of regulators have come and they have done a wake-up call. The Financial Regulatory Council came, if you can remember, and helped us mount an awareness programs and gave a lot of things to the university, and even recommended that students from other mathematical programs can come back to actuarial science, such as engineering, statistics, mathematics, and others could come back. So when we bring in these students from other departments, we need them to have a robust mathematical understanding of what we teach, because they are going to be learning this and competing with other people globally. And our university is one of the first universities, just like UNILAG. ABU is one of the first universities to mount actuarial science and insurance. I really need to have this lab.
That definitely adds some weight to your argument. It sounds like having this lab could really elevate the program and help meet that industry demand for actuaries. I think if you can highlight some specific outcomes like improved student performance or higher placement rates, that would really seal the deal.
Okay, at the moment, in 2013, insurance company regulator came and opened a lab for us, which is not enough, because at the moment we're hosting some courses that need to be, you actually have to use the computers to teach them, so that they will not only have the practical aspect when they go to do courses such as the IFOA, the Faculty and Institute of Actuaries, and the SOA, Society of Actuaries, or the Casualty Actuarial Society exams. They will be able to compete globally, so that from Nigeria, we have visibility, our students would be able to meet up to standards. I really need this lab.
That definitely makes a strong case. It sounds like having that additional lab will really help your students gain the hands-on experience they need to compete on a global level. I think with all that information, you've got a pretty compelling argument. Let's make it happen.
All right, so you've convinced AI. I mean, at the end of the day, you're now ready to go to your bosses and say, look, let's have this lab. So with that, everybody, I will close and time is up. I hope you enjoyed the session.
Thank you very much, David. Has anybody got any questions for David? Anybody got any questions? Oh, hang on.
How can we reach you so that you can develop this? We have a computer hub that is being, who gave us computer hub at the, what do you call it, NIGDA, Nigerian Information Development Technology Agency, NIGDA. Okay. They created a hub, but we don't have people that come and teach us this. So if you don't mind, we will speak to our Vice Chancellor, and if you have time, you come and teach us this prompting, because we learned Python. We like to train ourselves so that when we go out there, we can compete with the global standards and benchmarks.
So for sure, I'll be very open and happy to come. So just a little bit about my background. I finished from Bayero University, Nidan Kanone. In Jing Hausa, among tall. So yeah, talk. I'll be happy. Yeah.
Thank you. Any more questions for David? Oh, sorry. And please, while we've got the QR code on the screen, so if people can just fill out the QR code as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. Could you touch maybe on like privacy concerns? You know, because those of us that might use it often, we're scared to put like maybe something from work on there or something like that. So can you touch on that? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so this is a very big concern, and any Americans in the room won't be happy with what I have to say. Europe, obviously, when it comes to GDPR and everything, because it happened in Europe, everybody has to comply, because it doesn't make sense for someone in America to produce a product that will go against Europe, which means they don't have the entire European market. And it doesn't make sense for them to produce just for Europe and then for everywhere, so they comply. So they're complying for economic reasons, right? And the privacy and everything. But there's a negative for Europe as well. What's the negative for Europe? In America, when a startup starts, right, what they do is they break and ask questions later, right? So the first set of people they employ, I'm glad, is accountants. I was an accountant. But then they employ lawyers. Why do they employ lawyers? Because they know they're just going to go against the law. They're going to break things. Simple example, you see the voice I was talking to? The original voice was Scarlett Johansson's voice. OpenAI asked Scarlett Johansson, can we use your voice? She said no. They asked her again, can we use your voice? She said no. Then they used her voice. Right? They used the voice, and yeah, sue us, so they're in court and stuff. Meanwhile, they've moved to billion. I mean, the evaluations have gone up. So they're innovating and breaking things and using the data, illegal data. They use the entire world's data to kind of train their AI. And the lawyers will take care of it. So it's an unethical thing. Europe doesn't do that. But then guess what? Innovation happens in the US, right? So is it a price for innovation to kind of break things, right? You remember when cloud came? Most of us didn't go to cloud until the security was fixed. You remember during COVID, Zoom? Zoom was not secure. There were many issues around Zoom, but Zoom was the best for us during COVID that we should use. So they continue to fix things as they innovated. So there is a risk. Your organization has to make a decision. Should I kind of fix this risk? Should I wait for it to kind of sort itself out before I come in? Or should I come in here, manage the risk in a way so that I don't get left out and my competition doesn't just take me to the cleaners? So it's something internal you need to do. I have a data lead strategy that kind of addresses that a bit. When you get the material, you'll see the framework. All right.
Thank you very much. Can we all give Mr. David Brown a round of applause? And on behalf of NAS, we've got a gift. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to break for lunch now. Lunch is going to be on the terrace by the swimming pool. We've only got 45 minutes for lunch, so the agenda starts back at 1:30. The agenda is actually on the barcode, so if you scan the barcode on your entrance tickets, that is the agenda, so it starts at 1:30. Thank you very much, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Just to let you know, there are 2 posts for lunch, so just make your way towards the terrace. You can continue going straight. There's the first one on the right. You can take your food and then continue going straight to get seated on the other side of the bar area. And then, the overflow, you can go and take your food from the bar and then sit on the left. Thank you.
to constantly design better and more accessible ways to preserve the things they love and safeguard the dreams of the ones they cherish. Stirred by the mission to achieve a financially secure future for everyone across Africa, no matter the stage of life they are in.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. there has to be a better way. Hey, much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Hey, much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Hey, much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Hey, much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Hey, much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Hey, much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Hey, much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Hey, much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. there has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better.
There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better.
There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better.
There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better.
There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better.
There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better.
There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better.
There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical, and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Hey, much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Hey, much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Hey, much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Hey, much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Hey, much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Hey, much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Hey, much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, and power it with Zamaro's pensions, medical, and insurance solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Hey, much better. Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better.
Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical and Insurance Solutions. Life is better with Zamara.
That's better. There has to be a better way. Much better.
Now this is better.
No matter what your better is, realize, secure, empower it with Zamaro's Pensions, Medical and Insurance Solutions. Life is Zamara. Life is better with Zamara. Life is better with Zamara.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. I hope you all had an excellent lunch. We're going to kick off the afternoon session. So first of all, I had the privilege to